All right, so the day is here and we're going to do some power washing. Been looking forward to this for a really long time. But before we do that, I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a recap and talk about how I got here to this day. So the whole idea with this project was to create a space for myself within the building that first of all was completely done and would be kind of a motivator for me to continue that success. So I needed a place that was clean, kind of like a refuge, a place where I could have a microwave and set, a clean table where I could put the computer down, copy files from my phone to make these videos, and like a couch to sit on and relax, but not have it as dirty and as filthy as it is everywhere else in the building. So yeah, and this room is kind of like a microcosm of all the other spaces. It's just super overwhelming when you go in. It's super filthy. It's packed to the gills with heaven only knows what's in here. And yeah, but something just told me that it would be a really cool first room to clean out. So yeah, there was nothing to do but get doing. So I did spend a couple of days trying to go through this stuff, get it all out of the room. And my kind of modus operandi is to salvage anything that I can, anything that I think I'll be able to use in the restoration project, but also anything that I think could eventually find some kind of a home outside of a landfill. So what I do is I've got some areas where I'm putting different stuff. There's a pile for the stuff for the building that could potentially be used. There is a scrap metal pile where this guy right here is going to. And I've got like a burnable wood pile and a couple other things. So this was an incredibly filthy job. And I won't lie, I did on more than one occasion just take a break right in the middle of the day and go home and take a shower because there is a limit. I did hit a wall a couple times. Usually I'm not too picky, but this room was a real challenge. A lot of people have commented, why are we spraying? These boards aren't down. I have kind of a plan to put a lot of artwork on the walls, and what I want to do is, oh yeah, I forgot about this thing. This was a gigantic heavy industrial tank that I absolutely fell in love with, but it's like over 400 pounds because it's probably full of soot or something. So that was another couple of days just to figure out how to get that thing done because I'm working all by myself. And yeah, I had to be kind of creative in my approach. And I did finally get it down, and I really love this thing. And so, yeah. Anyway, back to the boards. I left them there because I want to hang some artwork in the wall, and then whatever's still exposed, it's not covered up by artwork, I'm going to go ahead and get out. I'm going to end up needing to power wash this a second time because I got 90% of the stuff out of there, but there's just a little bit more that I'd like to get. And once those boards come off the wall, I'll spray it again. Here we got these drains that were clogged. And then, yeah, I wanted to get bulk water so we could spray. And it took me, embarrassingly, like an hour to figure out that you just put a quarter in a hole in the wall. But that wasn't enough of a challenge. It was the wrong hole in the wall. And yeah, you have to put it in from the bottom, no less, believe it or not. So finally got that figured out.
What do you know? It actually worked.
We're ready to go.
We got a message for him and for you guys. Okay, so this video is coming to you from Poland, which is where I am at the moment, and you're watching a pre-recorded video that I made a couple months ago, but I do have a quick announcement. Quick cut for breath catching. Man, I'm breathing like a caveman out here. Okay, Daddy's out of breath. This your broom broom? Broom broom? Okay, so Today's your birthday. It's your birthday. Broom, broom. And I have some news for you. We can get... God, no, I didn't mean to do that. We can get rid of that guy because for your first birthday, you get a real bucket truck. What do you say about that? A real broom broom. Daddy won the auction, and we have a real bucket truck, and it's all yours, okay?
Now it's time to win lottery.
Yeah, now we gotta win the lottery. Couple things. It needs new batteries, and the windshield will not, the windshield wipers will not turn off no matter what. So, got a few kinks to work out, but you really don't care too much about it, do you? All right.
We'll see if we can get her siphoning.
Yeah, it's like the moment of truth here. That actually worked.
You didn't think it would?
I wasn't sure.
We're gonna start again. I'd have to give it a shot again.
Okay, so this is the moment of truth. This is just a little bit of a test spray here. Kind of gauge what's, what the process is going to be like and how effective this pressure washer is going to be. And yeah, so now it's time to go and put on our Stay Puft Marshmallow Man 3XL hazmat suits, which are extremely hot, by the way, once you're wearing them. And yeah, so this project actually turned out to be much different than I expected. I mean, I kind of envisioned certain aspects of it, and I've been looking forward to it for a long time. But a lot of things were different than the way that I had imagined them, including how much water actually was being sprayed through, and how much was going to be on the floor, and how effective the drains needed to be, and it kind of just was a lot simpler doing it than I had kind of built it up to be in my mind. So yeah, it was a really interesting experience, and I was really, really, really happy with the result. So, and then we'll get a chance here to see that in a little bit. But yeah, it was just really fun. So, one question you may be asking yourself is, why did we not have just the water on the building and use that instead of the bulk water tank out on a trailer? And the reason for that is this was like right here toward the end of fall. It wasn't filmed too long ago, and that's kind of a project in and of itself. And I went to the water department in our local town. They said, yeah, it's like very little amount of money. They just turn it on and hook it up. But I was coming here to Poland for the holidays, and there was an issue. The pipes could have frozen or something, and I wouldn't have been there. And so I just decided to wait till the spring. So yeah, and there's not a lot of commentary here. It's just video to kind of show you guys what we experienced and what the result was, so you can maybe treat this as like an ASMR video. Just get hypnotized by it. It was kind of satisfying to see the dirt coming off, and sometimes the the spraying that you're seeing here doesn't actually, it's hard to see the dirt and the filth coming off, but believe me, it's coming off. And if you need any confirmation of that, there'll be some shots here coming up where you can see the stuff on the floor and all the paint chips and all that stuff. And just to be clear, we're not trying to strip any lead paint that happens to be in the room out of the room. We're not, that's not the process. We're just knocking off the loose stuff with, you know, water, so particles don't get airborne. And then yeah, these tin lined walls, the idea is to clear coat them and leave that really cool, interesting patina there. I just absolutely love the way those tin walls look, and the brick accent wall at the end. And this room is going to be incredible. So okay, so while we're watching this, maybe I can talk a little bit about the plans for the building. I've made different videos kind of dedicated to different things, like how much I paid for it, and, you know, what my plans are, because people come to the channel 50 videos in, and they miss those earlier videos where I talked about all that stuff. So yeah, I've had lots of ideas, but to be honest, the thing on my mind in this whole project is just, you know, doing everything I can to get it cleaned out, get it to blank canvas stage where I can go room by room and make it as cool and awesome as I possibly can, and then move on to the next phase. A big part of that is just getting the building up to code. There are like fire suppression concerns. There's, you know, electrical wiring stuff that has to be done. The elevator has to get going. So that's kind of going on in the background as well. So we haven't forgotten about that, but still trying to move that ball forward. And hopefully this spring we're going to have a lot more content about that as well. And yeah, so once the building, who knows how long it'll be, but eventually it will get back up to where it's kind of legal for people to be in there. And then the main thing that I would like to do, just as a personal thing, actually two things, is to have a showroom for my antiques. I've long had a dream of traveling around Eastern Europe and buying like Cold War era antiques and importing them back to the States. And I would love to have a space in this building dedicated to making a showroom. So the other thing that I would like to do is to have like a workshop area where I can, you know, rewire old industrial lamps and refurbish the antiques, clean them up, get them ready so that I can sell them. So I also am interested in maybe taking industrial furniture pieces and turning them into furniture and stuff, just as like a personal interest of mine. You can see all that filth on the floor. Oh my gosh. So you can see the level and the quantity of stuff that's coming off. So that's pretty awesome. There's my baby. There's my tank. Yeah, so the other thing I think would be really cool is there's some gigantic bays, some really big spaces in the building, amazing windows, and if those were filled with antiques or, you know, industrial lighting and stuff, it would be great venues for like wedding receptions or, you know, whatever. So I would also really like to, you know, maybe have some part of it dedicated to a community center. And, you know, I'm just like really open. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I think an antique mall would be pretty cool. Place where people can do artwork, maybe. Who knows? That's kind of the fun part, is just thinking about all of the possibilities and the things that it could be. But then once again, I just have to stay focused on, like, you know, what's right in front of my nose, which is do this next thing for the building. You know, there are a couple structural issues with the building, and I have a video coming up that's dedicated to just that. The 10 big problems that the building has. And 9 out of 10 of them I haven't talked about. So maybe you've kind of seen some issues in the background. There's like a big crack in the wall, that kind of thing. Those things all have to be addressed. And yeah, I have to stay focused. And so I don't really have the luxury of thinking, oh, what am I going to do with this space? I just need to stay focused on getting it up to code, get it to where the building is insurable, and then I can kind of think moving forward what to do from there. So what else? What other questions have been coming up? Okay, so how much do I pay for the building? When I first saw the sign that was for sale, because I had driven back to Charleston, which is where I grew up, went to high school. I was like, I want to go back by my old place and just see it, because I had come to the cemetery to visit my mom and my grandparents. And we drove by and there was a sign that said it was for sale. And I called about it. They said it was $30,000. And I thought, let's just go look at it.
That's so loud, I'm gonna have to do voiceover on the video.
I always wanted to see what was on the inside. And when we showed up, they said, oh, hey, it's been knocked down to $20,000. And it was in probate. And yeah, so I thought about it. I thought, man, that place would be so awesome. And then my like dreamer kind of psychology started taking over. And, you know, I was smitten with it. And yeah, wasn't my brightest day, but we ended up deciding we were going to just go for it. And we bought it, and it's been a heck of a journey ever since. One heck of a journey, that's for sure. And it hasn't been an easy road. A lot of people are asking, what are you going to do with all that lead paint and all that asbestos and all of that? And yeah, so the thing is that there's not a ton of asbestos in the building. This room is like one exception because it has the asbestos tile on the floor. The plan for this room is to encapsulate it. So not even mess with it, just encapsulate it with an approved encapsulation, quick set concrete floor. They have certain ones that are actually approved for that. And then I'll tile back over it with vinyl tiling to make it look pretty much just like it was originally. There are only, I think in some of the window putty in the windows, because it's so old, there may be asbestos in some of that window putty. And there are like 5 or 6 pipes with asbestos on them around the building. There's really not that much. So I'll probably have to bite the bullet and just have that, forget the word for it, but have that taken care of by a professional company. I know it's super expensive, but do that and then it'll be done. I won't have to worry about it anymore. Lead paint's a different issue. There's so many areas that have lead paint, basically the entire building. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking the lead paint abatement class and getting certified to do it myself. So anytime there's a particularly problematic area, I'll be certified and I can do it myself. And yeah, that'll be the solution. It's like a 40-hour training. It's probably pretty expensive. I can't remember what it costs, but I'll do that. And yeah, it'll be a learning process. I'll learn something more. This building, this entire process is giving me a master's degree in random obscure knowledge. I could be like, at the end of this, I'll be like Cliff on Cheers, like who knows all that random stuff, and it'll all be associated with fixing an old building. So I'm kind of clumsy, don't know a lot, but shoot, I've learned a ton this year. And by the time this building is done, I'm going to be the best window glazer this side of the Mississippi. And so, yeah. Okay. Just looking at this spraying here, and it is not the spray gun seems to do a ton of work. Sprayer seems to do a ton of work, but it's not dumping loads and loads of water in the room. The drains are kind of doing their job, but it's really much more minimal than I thought it would be. So that's pretty cool. This beam here is just like all the beams throughout the rest of the building. And it's not going to get scraped, it's just going to get sprayed off, and I'll clear coat that wood beam just like I do the rest of it, and that paint will all be encapsulated, but it'll still be there and give it like a really cool vintage look. So yeah, it was right about this time that I was getting pretty hot in that suit, and I was ready for a break, but I stuck with it, didn't give up. And as a matter of fact, it looks like Bob was doing most of the work. I was just standing around with a camera, so I think I came out better on this deal than he did. But the little spraying that I did do, it was pretty fun. So awesome! It's amazingly not that much water in here, yeah?
Really?
I imagined it was going to be knee deep.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Lots of paint flakes.
That is a shocking difference up there. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but all of the loose hanging stuff is gone. And with a nice clear coat, that's gonna look the best. The best. Like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
And the sounds when you're walking around are like,
You couldn't sneak up on it.
couldn't sneak up on nobody in one of these. I'm kind of shocked at how much body heat I have in here. I can feel it, but okay. So the problem is, I don't think you can really see how awesome that texture is through the camera.
Yeah.
But I'm completely in love with that. That couldn't be better, I don't think. For a look, could not be better. And we're not dealing with a whole lot of water. So we were just talking while I was copying files that I'm kind of encouraged, and now I'm going to be brave enough to use this in more areas, because you don't know what you don't know. And I was imagining being chin deep in water and lots of problems, but as long as there's a drain nearby, I haven't even needed to push it. It's finding its own way. So that's really cool. So we're halfway there. We got half the room done. Now we're gonna do the other half. And then Bob mentioned that we kind of need to go around and rinse it all off because the dirt kind of streaked in a few places. But yeah, okay.
Probably got more lime dust sweeping the floor than we've got doing the
Probably. That's right. Yeah, that's right. And the windowsills, they're covered with paint chips again, but I don't think they've been this clean and for sure.
We'll come back and do a final rinse on everything.
For sure, decades. This thing, yeah.
We might as well blast it off while we're doing it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay, everything is wet and my hands are covered with wet and muck, but I'm gonna try to push some of this toward that drain. I don't think that any of this water is getting outside this room. It's all contained, yeah? I don't want to push paint chips, so I'm stopping well before the drain, just letting the water go. Yeah, perfect. This feels like an adventure. It's exciting, and there's a lot of ways this could have possibly gone, but it turned out pretty good, I think. So, round two. Here we go. We lost our prime. For some reason, we lost the prime on the hose. I'm going to check it out. How was that even possible? Everything looks good. We haven't even actually used very much water at all, which is so encouraging. I think you got some egg on your face.
I believe I painted myself.
Okay, now just a quick rinse and then we'll be done and we'll have a look at it. There's a ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Man, it's really misty in here, yeah?
Yeah.
It's good to go, yeah?
I think so.
All right. Okay, let's come back here in a minute. You want to go check out the hardwood floor?
Yeah.
So Bob had an idea to spray off the floor out there just to see what it looks like under all that dirt. So it's a little bonus. It'll probably redust again. I knew it. I'll wait till we turn that off. I'll talk about it in just a minute. Okay, so I just got done saying that, well, I think I need to pour a concrete floor in here because, and he said, well, I want to see what the wood looks like. And I was like, no, because I'll probably fall in love with it and love it. And it looks awesome, obviously. So, yeah, it's so cool. It's like the dust is kind of resettling on top. There's just so much dust. So, it looks kind of meh through the camera, but I like it. I like it a lot. So, and maybe just patching in these pieces is easier than pouring concrete anyway, right? Like,
Yeah.
cut them out. I think I've got some, like, here's boards right here. So I can probably find enough of those around the building to patch all that in and wash it up.
I just caused you more work, didn't I?
But the end result's what counts, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The end result
As
is
long
what
as you're
counts.
happy with it.
Yeah. So okay.
All right, so where are we going next?
Okay, super dirty. This is a continuation of last week when we did the other room. It's actually the same day for us. And why not? We still got water and there's drainage spaces in the room. So we're gonna hit this room as well, which is like crazy exciting because I kind of felt like the first room was impossible. This is a second room and got two of them done, which is pretty awesome. This is gonna be kind of a different animal, yeah?
Yeah.
Like it's more open and more light.
Look good, though.
Yeah, it's gonna look amazing. So, okay, let's get to it.